Hello, everybody. It's the lunch hour. Do you hear the church bells ringing out there? You can't go to church just yet, but we can hear the church bells ringing. All right, I'm going to set this up so I can see comments today. Well, what's the good word? What's the good word, everybody? Welcome to the new show. Through Zoom, I'm able to be Facebook Live with guests every day at noon. This is a Facebook Live show brought to you by Park Ridge Living and Be Local Northwest Chicago magazines. I am the publisher and your host, Dolly McCarthy. This is designed to be an experience, a live one, where you can get the opportunity to hear from local residents and businesses and comment live in real time. And we'll be, having a variety of questions and topics, but it'll be every day at noon. And we welcome you to make comments. Feel free to leave a question. I am monitoring Facebook today very well, so I can see questions here. And I think that you might have a few questions for my guest today. So I encourage you to participate in that way. COVID-19 has changed the world, and we all hope this is temporary for sure, but it is what it is. And in the meantime, we need to keep positive and support each other. So this is a platform that I've developed through Zoom, with the help of Zoom and Facebook, to build community and again, like I said, support each other. So we're going to stay positive while doing that. And my guest today is Ed Zamora, who is the branch manager at Union Home Mortgage. I hope y'all can see him now. Let me get him up there. Ed, there we go. How are you, Ed?
Good.
What's the good
All
word?
right.
Happy
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Dolly. Thank you for having me on your show.
Well, it's great to see you. Any plans for Cinco de Mayo? Right?
I will probably, since I've cut a little back on the drinking, but I probably will have maybe a margarita maybe for today.
Oh, yes. I should bring everybody up to speed on that when you said that. This man had a heart attack right before Christmas, right?
Yep, December 2nd, 2019.
And you dropped so much weight. How much weight did you lose?
I've lost 38 pounds since then. Again, not that I wanted to, but the doctor called it, but it's a blessing in disguise. I'm here getting a second chance with growing old with my kids and my family.
Second chance. That's right. And speaking of second chances, now you have switched gears. You've left one company, and now you're a new branch manager for Union Home. Tell us about that. Tell us about that company.
Union Home is a very family-oriented culture. That's one of the things that caught my attention. They are a company that has some big muscles and great tools for a smaller operating company. They're out of Ohio, Strongsville, Ohio. The company senior vice president of retail sales was the former president of Caliber Home Loans, where I came from. So he knew exactly what environment I was in and what I was dealing with. And it is a smaller version of Caliber, so the tools and support and everything is similar, but it's just not to a great level that I had at Caliber. So the accomplishments can be done a lot quicker, and the corrections or whatever I have to do will be answered faster.
Mm-hmm. All right, before we dive into what has COVID-19, how it has affected your business and buyers and sellers out there, let's talk about rates today. Everybody wants to know, what are the rates today for conventional and FHA loans?
You know what, depending on your criteria versus, FICO scores, your down payment, that kind of stuff, those parameters will indicate or dictate what your rate will be. But if you were to look at the perfect scenario for everybody, a person who's a FICO score of 680 or greater, or 700 or greater, you're looking at a conventional loan rate of probably about 3.5, and an FHA 2.875 on a 30-year fix for both of those.
Still very low.
Oh, fantastic rates, fantastic rates. The buyer's market right now, if I was a renter, I wouldn't even be renting. I mean, why pay the landlord's Mercedes? You know, I would be, I would definitely be out there trying to find something that you can at least invest in, and have some write-offs in, versus paying rent and not having anything to write off.
Mhm, mhm. So COVID-19, how has that affected the market today?
It's affected the market quite a bit. If you do not work in an essential position or job or career, or have a career that actually dictates where you can work from home, many people are laid off. I really feel bad. There's a lot of people that were looking to buy, put contracts in, started the process, and then with all this COVID-19 starting, a lot of contracts and a lot of loan applications had to be canceled until further notice, until we find out that those people have some type of start date for employment. Lenders cannot do applications on a what if or an estimated date. They need people to go back to work and actually show active employment by either a pay stub or some type of verbal commitment from your HR or personnel department.
Okay. How about home values? How have those been affected by?
Home values, I don't think have been affected too much. It all based on different areas and different types of properties and so forth and where it's at.
Mhm.
I would think that if I were to say, I think the property values are in good standings right now. Sellers who are looking to sell, I wouldn't worry about this affecting too much as far as the selling values of your homes. But again, it all depicts on the buyers and who are out there now that are able to buy.
Yeah. And how about for those homeowners that, because of this pandemic, have lost their jobs, been laid off, and so forth? What advice would you give them instead of just freezing and not paying their mortgage? What advice
It,
would you give them? You and I have both gone through that,
exactly.
our Great Recession,
Um,
'08.
yeah,
And so, what are the mistakes that we learned from that that we can now apply today?
well, I would definitely tell you that, pay attention to, or I should say, don't pay attention to the media and say not to pay it and take advantage of not paying your mortgage, even though that you might not be not employed, I should say. There are deferments and then there's forbearances, and both of them are very, very critical on your credit and your future possible financing if you're looking at buying or even looking at refinancing. So I would definitely call your lenders and ask them explicit questions on how each is going to affect your credit. Don't just listen to them and just do it. There's a lot of lenders automatically putting you in a deferment or forbearance as soon as you call because they think you're calling just
Yeah.
because for that reason. And I would double check that because there's been many consumers that have found out that by getting a letter in the mail saying, oh, thank you for calling. Based on your conversation, you must be affected by the COVID-19, and we've automatically put you on the deferment or forbearance program. And that is not correct. That will affect you eventually. Fannie and Freddie, who are the governing bodies, are looking at that. And if you do miss more than 60 days of payments, that will be affecting your ability to refinance or purchase down the line.
Okay. So the first thing that you should do if you're in trouble is
Call your lender.
call
Call
your.
your lender. Make sure that you ask the explicit questions of what is a deferment, what are the different definitions of each, and like what is the process, and what does that affect your credit, or how does it affect your credit
Yeah.
based on each lender's criteria.
Now, the process of deferment versus forbearances, what's the difference there? I know it's
Um,
complicated, but can you give it to us in
yeah, I'll try to give you a simplified form. A deferment is basically the lender is giving you a kind of like free of payment for a couple months.
Okay.
But the problem is with the deferment is if you're unemployed or your income is lessened on the fourth month or the number of months that you've agreed that you cannot afford to pay,
Mhm.
on that third, second, or fourth month, you have to pay the months that you have not paid plus the additional month to make you current. Again, if you are unemployed and your income is low, how does that come into effect? Do you have the money to pay all one lump sum in a big check at the time of when that payment is due? And that's the biggest problem with a lot of people. If you're unemployed or you're collecting unemployment, your income is reduced excessively. So how are you going to come up with 4 payments if you can't come up with one? So think of that before, before you pick that option. The forbearance is a different forgiving type of program. It is in the fact of you don't make the payments, and whatever payments you don't put after 6 months usually is the time frame that they initially put. At the end of the 6 months, they ask you, sir or ma'am, can you make those payments again or start making them again? No. Okay. Well, then basically what they'll do is they'll take those 6 payments and they'll spread them out through a number of months, whether it might be 12 months, it might be even 24 months, who knows? It's all depending on the lender and their program allowance.
Mhm.
And again, if your payment is going up by $200, $400, $500, that means if you can't make the payment now, how are you going to make it with 500 extra on that
Right.
payment later on?
Right,
Okay.
right.
So you just got to be very cautious in what program you pick. I tell people whatever you got to do. There's a lot of lenders that are waiving the late charges. So if you exceed the 15th or the 16th of the month, which is what your grace period is from the 1st to the 15th, if you exceed that, don't worry about it. It's not going to affect your credit. Remember, it's affecting your credit after it exceeds the 30th of the month.
Okay.
So if you can make that payment on the 29th day of the month, at least you're making your payment. It doesn't matter that if you're stretching it out into the month and making it accordingly. So,
All right. Let's dive into Ed Zamora. What makes you
uh-oh.
unique and better than anybody else out there?
Well,
By the way, just tuning in, I should say, I just get a little recap. We're just talking to Ed Zamora. He's the branch manager for Union Home Mortgage and giving us some tips. If you missed the first part of the interview, rewind. This will be rebroadcast, right, as they say, on Facebook. It may not be live and it's much fun, but you can always watch some good advice that you've given us, Ed, for sure. So, but let's dive into you personally and what makes you different and so unique and special.
Well, basically, I mean, you have a person here that's been around for 29 years, and I've been on the operational side. I've had different leadership roles. I'm bilingual, so I'm able to help people I'm very creative. So with that being said and knowledgeable, I'm able to help people with different scenarios, different types of situations, and help them, guide them through the buying process. There's a lot of different individuals that sometimes don't give good guidance to people and they mislead them, and then all of a sudden that one special investment of their lives, which is the largest investment of their lives, gets spoiled, or they have a bad taste of it and then they don't want to do it. So you definitely need to have somebody who's going to give you some good information, who's going to hold your hand throughout the whole process, is going to be there for your questions when you have them, whether it's at 10 o'clock in the morning or 9 o'clock at night. You can always call me. I'm always available for my clients. That's one of the things that I believe that my cell number is 708-703-0981. I am available at all times to answer your questions. And I am with Union Home Mortgage, branch manager.
Yeah.
It's a great company that has great culture.
For you.
I'm not. And it's not over. I just want to give my input. But definitely you want somebody who's going to give you the information you need and answer all your questions so that you sleep at night properly and that you know that you're making the right decision.
Yes, sleeping
and I'm that person.
Is good stuff. That's for sure. Hey, I want to do a shout out to Jerry Piscopo, who did a shout out to us. Ed, he says hello. And Dan Stapleton says howdy. And Stephanie Athens says hi.
Howdy.
So thank you guys for joining us. Are you all having lunch? This is the lunch hour conversation here. What's the good word, everybody? Let me hear from you. We love hearing from you. That's for sure. All right. So Ed, tell us, let's go into the benefits of you and I working together. You are in Park Ridge Living magazine. What's been your experience with that?
I cannot say, the words are priceless. Meeting the people that I've met through the Park Ridge Living, including yourself, Dolly, has been a great experience. I've met friends that are going to be hopefully friends forever, but also it's been a very good experience as far as exploiting my business, and the footprint has grown. And hopefully with this, it just keeps on continuing. I can't say it's been a wonderful experience knowing the people that I've met so far.
Yeah, and then you just recently joined the Park Ridge Chamber?
Yes, I just recently joined the Park Ridge Chamber of Commerce, and those people have received me with open arms, and they're great people. And they've helped me expand my business with just all the different tools and opportunities that they have with the chamber, with all the functions, the events, and email blasts, and so forth and so on. And I know with this COVID-19, that's kind of halted a few things, and I'm looking forward to that opening up, and so that we can see each other again and hang out.
Yeah, well, great. Well, before we wrap up, Ed, thank you so much for being on the show and for your time. And
My
it's been
pleasure.
great partnering with you. Folks, if you enjoyed this interview, please like and tag us, Park Ridge Living and Be Local Northwest Chicagoland, as well as Union Home and Ed Zamora. Ed is on Facebook. Are you on Instagram yet? Look out, world. Are you?
No, I'm still trying to catch up with times. You know what I mean? I'm an old school guy.
All right, why don't we throw some things out, some numbers out there, your website, throw those out there, your phone number again real quick as we're recapping here. Ed
Sure.
Zamora from Union Home Mortgage.
Ed Zamora with Union Home Mortgage, branch manager. My website is www.unionhomemortgage.com/ezamora. And you can call me at cell 708-703-0981 anytime. I'm always available 24/7, Monday through Sunday. So,
And he gave you that cell number. And so again, like and tag Park Ridge Living, Be Local Northwest Chicagoland, Union Home, Ed Zamora, for your chance to win a $40 gift card to iCaramba. Since it's Cinco de Mayo, I thought I'd throw some love out. There's a great Mexican restaurant just 2 doors down from the Park Ridge Living, Be Local Northwest Chicagoland offices. So $40 to iCaramba. Delicious Mexican food, takeout, carry out. Do shout out to our friends over there and Bull over at iCaramba. All right, Ed, thank you so much again for coming on the show. Happy Cinco de Mayo, my friend.
happy Cinco de Mayo to you and everybody out there. God bless you.
One more quick thing I want to mention is tomorrow night is our Unite with Light effort again. Every Wednesday night, we've started this since the beginning of the shelter in place, and Ed, we hope you can join us too. Those of you that are in need of candles or luminaries, we're giving away free luminaries here. It's a bag here of sand with a little candle inside. Put it out on your doorstep with a candle, put this on the doorstep or a candle, I should say. And we're going to be honoring our healthcare workers, our first responders who are on the front lines helping us through this pandemic. If you need a luminary, I have them free at the Park Ridge Living offices at 132 South Prospect in Uptown Park Ridge. We're right next door, 2 doors down actually, to iCaramba. And so that will be a really nice way we can all unite with light. You there with me, Ed? Thanks everybody for tuning in.
I'm here.
Tune in tomorrow.
Thank you, Dolly, again.
The good word. You're so welcome, my friend. I'm Dolly McCarthy. So long, everybody. From the north side of Chicago and Park Ridge. Be well.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.